Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for May week 2. So our theme for May is source code, untangling the web. And our life app for the month is honesty, choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. So last week, the bottom line was when you are not truthful, you lose trust. And this week, our story is going to be about David and Amalek. And our bottom line is when you are not truthful, you hurt others. So really important bottom line for our kiddos. Our new memory verse for the month is anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught. Proverbs 10:9. And also just one more announcement, 4th grade small group leaders, your kids are all getting these in the mail, but then make sure you also pass these out. Next Sunday, the 20th, we are going to be having a graduation celebration for all of our kids moving into Detour. So we'd love for you to come as their old small group leaders and to just kind of cheer them on as they move to the next phase. It will be from 12:30 to 2 right at your church. We'll have pizza and ice cream. And then on the back, it just gives a little bit more information. So make sure you pass those out to your 4th graders. All right. So on to our leader guide for this week. So make sure when you get here at 8:30 and 10:30 before kids arrive, to just really take a few minutes to pray for your small group. Pray that kids would understand what happens when they're dishonest, that it just breaks relationships. Pray that God would help kids to forgive people when they are dishonest, and just pray that they would understand that when they hurt others with their dishonesty, they can always rely on God to help make it right again. So then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, as they join your circle, ask about their week. Make sure you know their names. Definitely make sure any first-time guests feel very welcomed. And then you have some dominoes on your cart, so let kids just play with dominoes as they wait for the rest of the group to arrive. And point out that dominoes are a great example of cause and effect, so that one thing happens and then another thing happens because the first thing happened. So we're going to be talking a lot about cause and effect today. So then when service starts at 9 and 11, you're going to play an if-then game. So you've got these if-then cards. The first service small group leaders might need to cut them apart for their cart. And what you're going to do is you're going to explain to your small group that you're going to take turns picking up a card, and you're going to come up with a then scenario. So like it says, if I pull on the cat's tail and annoy him, then he might bite me. So they have to kind of come up with the then. And then if you have extra time, have kids come up with their own if-then statements or their own if statements, and let the rest of your small group come up with a then statement. So you're going to close that activity out by saying, so you guys came up with some crazy if-then scenarios, and you did a great job thinking through the results of these cards. You did an excellent job thinking through what the result might be of the choice you made. So have you ever made a wrong choice in real life, and what happened when you made that choice? Well, today in large group, we're going to learn about a guy who also made some really unwise decisions. And if he made the wrong choices, just like the examples on our cards, I wonder what happened to him then. So then you're going to head over to the large group room. Just help your small group to really engage in the story, help them to worship, and just enjoy that large group time. When you get back, you're going to do an activity called Spreading Lies. So this is really cool. Each kid is going to get a coffee filter and a plate. And in the center of the coffee filter, they're going to write the bottom line for the day. When you're not truthful, you hurt others. And just so you know, the bottom line is on the very first page, too, up here, just in case you don't remember what it was. So they're going to write that with a washable marker. And then what you're going to do is, after they complete it, you're going to give everybody an eyedropper, which we've got plenty of those, and you're going to have a cup of water at your small group. And they're going to fill their eyedropper up about halfway with the water from the cup, and then they're going to slowly drop water into the center of their coffee filter. And as they do, the ink from their bottom line is going to spread across the coffee filter. So I've got my thing about halfway up. Let's see. So as I drop my water, my ink is going to spread. So then it just says, to close this out, you're going to say, it was a bit of a bummer to watch the words that you wrote disappear as the ink spread across the coffee filter. But just like the water caused your ink to spread all over the place, being untruthful spreads to others. So have you guys ever seen how a lie can spread, maybe at school or with friends, and let them share stories if they have them? And then make it personal. Share a story from a time maybe when you told a lie and it hurt somebody else. Or maybe if someone else did that to you. And just talk about how those lies spread and it can hurt others. And then for your memory verse review, you should have your memory verse poster board from last week. The small group leaders from last week should have that. Some of them are hanging up around the room. Some of them are just behind the carts on the wall. But what you're going to do this week... What you're going to do this week is you're going to have kids sit in a circle and you're going to bring your memory verse poster from last week out. And you're going to give... she just spit up. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, baby wearing problems. Okay. You're okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so then you're going to give each kid a piece of yarn and you're going to go around the circle and take turns as you each read a word from the memory verse. And as kids read their word, they're going to tape their piece of yarn down on the poster. And then when the next kid goes, they're going to kind of like crisscross their piece of yarn so that it starts to look like a web on your poster board. And you're just going to continue until the verse has been completely read and you've got this web of yarn somewhere on your poster board. And you're just going to save that poster board for the next 2 weeks. So to close it out, you're going to say, you guys created one cool, messy web over our memory verse. And you know what this messy web looks like? It looks like a web you can get caught in when you're dishonest. Because remember, when we're not truthful, we can hurt others. And you can even get caught in the web that you've created. So let's remember this week as we work to be honest all the time. So then you've just got some optional discussion questions if you want to go deeper with your group. When we choose to be dishonest, can we ever be sure that our dishonesty won't affect anyone else? How can dishonesty affect our relationships? Have you ever been seen a lie hurt someone else? What about a little lie? Are those being dishonest? There's some great questions to think about. And then as you close in prayer, all you need is your memory verse poster board, and you're going to just gather kids around it and ask if anyone's ever experienced a lie turning into a web, where one thing led to another and people got hurt. Give them some time to share if anybody has anything to share. And then tell kids that when they choose to be dishonest, the important thing is how they handle it afterwards. So it's important that they go to the person they lied to, tell the truth, and ask for their forgiveness. So then you'll just close with this prayer. And as adults come, you can have kids show off this to tell them their bottom line, that when we're not truthful, we hurt others. And kids can take these home. Save the eyedroppers, though, because we may use those again, but they can take the plate and the coffee filter home. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. If you're serving this weekend or if you're not serving this weekend, please be sure to come to the garage door room and enjoy the donut bar. That will be open from 8:20 to 8:30 and then 10:20 to 10:30. Come grab some donuts before service just as a way to say thank you for serving at Oak Ridge Kids, and we'll see you on Sunday.